Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Wolferton here, and welcome back to another and possible finale of the New Order Last Days of Europe. So, in this particular episode, I actually had to skip a few years because I already went through supporting the, the several different countries here that you see that broke off from Italy and even rebelled against their governments here, the such as the Dhofar Rebellion, Arabian Republic, formerly known as the Yemen Republic here, as well the Egyptian Revolutionary Command Council, as well the Syrian Republic, and a different Iraq here. Now, I think I might be heading into some most big trouble yet, because now I'm basically going to be suffering the slave revolt, which is why I don't have a national focus. The last time I did was I was already handling through the oil crisis. The oil crisis has made the social tension in the Reich reach a boiling point. And now I have to suffer through this. Oh boy. It all starts with a bang. Do you know of a woman named Anna Slowikowska? Gaining steam. We're just getting started. This is not looking good. The past repeats. The moment I find evidence of a truth, you will have lost all use to me. Oh boy. Hang on. Is safe. Time to start over. A tidal wave? The end is nowhere in sight. Wait, what are those? Oh boy. I think I'm noticing. Oh yeah, the slave revolt is already here. Freedom or death, partisan alliance, unity and diversity, the free slave recruits. Yep. Wait, where did I put Hans Spiedel's troops? There we go. Better army professionals. Utter failure. All of Germany was looking to Oberlande. The slaves are rising through Moscowian. He can't act up like this on his own accord. Italy acquires nuclear technology. Oh, that's just great. Okay, this is something this is really going on weird now. They take control of central Poland. Okay, so the slaves is taking control. Okay, so the slaves is taking control of central Poland. Moscowian has fallen. Mm-hmm. This Schroner in control. Our empire's crumbling. I don't even know what to do. Hand slipping off the rope. So anyway, I actually skipped a few years and I already handled with Ruslan Shoner taking over Moscowian, and I'm dealing with the slave revolt now, and I already dealt with the Imperial State of Iran civil war. So yeah, this is basically the final chapter to the German story. Let's see it. The slave revolt is already still happening, but as long as things are kept cool. Back to the drawing board, and a mind that could put it together. Breaking down old, building up new, a necessary peacekeeper in the coming days. Of course to repatriation. Freedom at last. Freedom, sweet, sweet freedom. Let's rally no more. Increase our commitment in the Middle East. The gates open forever. Brothers, Egypt is behind us. Our promised land awaits. A cry of a voice. Charging the reactionaries with treason. Breaking up the monopoly. Come and see, Moscow burns again. That's just sad. The return of political discourse. Now all we need is a bribery scandal. I really hate those kinds of things. Oh, and it should be noted, I also have the Empress of the Imperial State of Iran, Farah Pahlavi. Discussions over democracy. A slow transition will be better. Now the Empress resides over a throne stained in blood as German guns and German bombers reduce her country to rubble. Grinding forward. At least it's something. Something indeed. Steps into darkness. For the first time in my life, I am truly hopeful. The fate of Germany awaits. Ominous. Trapped in perpetuity. Let's see. If it was as if Schmidt was staring into the face of madness. He resisted the urge to run, as his legs tightened and he felt it so difficult to breathe properly. And had deftly wanted to avoid the sweat from his brow. Nothing. A lie, my leader. There is nothing wrong. Spear gave a nod. A mere background check. The fate of Germany becomes clear. New focus is available. Replace allowed slavery with now outlawing it completely. If the events doesn't show up with the focus, simply save and reload your game. Oh well, we got the Denjis spear ending, so a dream that comes true. It is done. After years of wrestling with the gang over the future of the nation, and by extension Europe as a whole, no more demands, no more reforms, no more whining. The leader has gotten his way and nobody will stop him again. They all try to rip the Reich to pieces again, crying about the system that kept it in power, scrambling to tear apart the very structure that had elevated Germany to the status of world superpower with their liberal fantasies. Speer allowed them to grow complacent, thinking he was passive. But I guess you can say their victory was complete. The slave revolt, but he had turned the tables. Greater than the war economy, greater than the Volkshog, this is how Speer will remember for all history. Will be remembered for all history, that is. Oh well. The slave revolt has ended. The Gang of Four, known as the leading force behind the reforms in Germany, was missing at the Führer's side during his announcement. Reich's banner leader Willy Brandt has reportedly fled to the United States. Seems the leader is back in the limelight. And drifts into silence. I love you, Anna. I love you so much. In his footsteps. Hang on, let me do something. A vision realized. Changing of the guard, and he finally walked away. To obey the leader of Europa. Dark clouds over the Gang of Four. This permanently will try to make sure to stop the ticker. One leader. Germany is safe from Western influence and other thoughts alike for now. The battle, of course, is not yet finished. Sharks of liberalism and others still circle water surrounding our boat, itching the moment they believe it can strike. With the gang at the helm, they very nearly had their chance. The captain has reasserted his command. Herr Speer is ready to lead Germany into a future it truly deserves. Not one that is to the Slavs or blank or capitalist power, but one of leadership and power. A world in which the Reich once again truly dominates, a world in which the German ideology dream can come true. The challenges on this path may be many, but we shall weather the storm, secure our knowledge that our ideology will keep us safe through the raging waters now and forevermore. Now that's really something to put it heavy-heartedly, huh? A new era. Germany is undergoing yet another visible change. End of a new era. Es Zeit. The oil crisis combined. Then a new era. The oil crisis combined with the Great Slave Revolt has shown us that our model of governance is outdated. The last two back-to-back crises have proved without a doubt that we cannot simply ignore the rest of the world. Like it or not, if we are to retain our status as influential great power, we need to be able to work with others, not as a superior or overlord, but as equals towards international cooperation is the way forward to achieve it. I wouldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Let's see, time for change. The time for change. The oil crisis definitely has had a lasting effect on the global market. Brace for the coming impact. Germany's fate beckons towards freedom. Nations seem to be more hesitant in overseas purchases, which is making relations and connections with foreign interests more important than ever. If Germany is going to move into the future, then we need to adapt if we wish to remain relevant as a world power. Oh well. The funny thing about it is, I don't know why Syria even looks weird like this. Syria looks weird. An example in the West. From sea to shining sea. The Unity Pact, Organization of Free Nations, Co-Prosperity Spear, all power blocks built only to sustain themselves out from the ashes of the Second World War. They existed only to expand their influence and combat their enemies, as peace was hardly seen as a viable alternative in the years following Germany's glorious victory. Yet now, decades later, we see that there's something new brewing. The oil crisis has struck the world as a knife to exposed flesh. It explored the weaknesses found in all of the nation blocks that encompass the world. Every superpower attempting to take it on by themselves, only to find that such course of action is not only inefficient but actively detrimental. Mm-hmm. Collect the proposals. A hint in the east. Prime the ambassadors. Collect the proposals. Fall of prosperity. The Empire of Japan is beginning to crumble. It has a very weak start. Japan and China can be found on page 1 to 15. End of page. It seems Pan-Asianism wasn't the most well thought out idea for Japan from the start. Coalition der Nationen. Coalition of Nations, that will be the name of a new world order. Already our brightest minds are hard at work drafting proposals for the formation of a new council that all nations of the world can sit in on. Dozens upon dozens of names alone are floating around in our Foreign Affairs Office. The last one. The short-lived United Nations and other historic suggestions evidence in many of these proposals. The Coalition of Nations. That will be the name of the new world order. It's not a mere novel idea. Practical experience from the League of Nations and United Nations have been taken to help us create this new organization or coalition. Different boards for maximum flexibility, a pathway to membership, a parliament, and much, much more. Although in its infancy on paper, the idea has many people in our administration hopeful for the future. It's time to test the waters and let the Japanese and Americans in on our plan. As the next two largest superpowers, their input and support will be vital to making this dream a reality. Their coalition of nations. With the Japanese and the Americans. And me as Germany. Yep, their coalition of nations. It was a fun, wild ride in Germany while it lasted. From the German Civil War to Speer winning it, to the reforms moving, to even a fascist Speer. This is one wild ride, as they say. Silver pens riding away in blood. The coalition of nations. And basically that's it for Germany. And so the dusk approaches a new order. Thanks for playing through the full content of one of our nations. Though there's still work to be done on it. Extending the game's timeline until 1982 and adding a new start date. Well, I have to say that was really fun playing as Germany with doing the reforms and stuff, but anyway, I hope you actually liked this video. Like, share, and subscribe with friends and family, and I'll see you guys next time.